Most students study wrong. Not a little wrong, completely, devastatingly wrong. And here's the wild part. The ones who struggle the most are usually the ones putting in the most hours. You know that feeling when you've read the same page 4 times and still have no idea what it said? Or when you're cramming the night before, convinced that if you just stare at the notes long enough, something will stick. Yeah, that's not studying. That's just stress with a highlighter. The top 1% of students, the ones getting near perfect scores while somehow still having a life, they figured something out that most people never do. And today, I'm going to break it all down for you. Stick around, because by the end of this, you're going to look at your study sessions completely differently.
The problem. Let me paint you a picture. 2 students, same class, same teacher, same textbook. Student A spends 6 hours a day studying, rereads chapters, highlights everything, makes beautiful color-coded notes, goes into the exam feeling ready. Student B, maybe 2-3 hours tops, doesn't even reread most of the material. Guess who scores higher? If you said student B, you're right, and that should honestly make you a little angry, because nobody tells you why. Here's the thing about how most of us were taught to study. It's designed around passive learning, rereading, highlighting, copying notes. These things feel productive. They feel like studying. But your brain, it's basically just coasting. There's a concept called the illusion of knowing. When you reread material, it starts to feel familiar, and familiar feels like understood. But familiarity and understanding are not the same thing, not even close. It's like listening to a song 100 times and thinking you could perform it on stage. You can't. You've heard it. You haven't learned it. So if rereading doesn't work, what does? That's where the system comes in. But first, I need to tell you something about how your memory actually works, because once you get this, everything clicks.
The system. Your brain is not a hard drive. It doesn't save things just because you looked at them. It's more like a muscle. The more you actually use information, retrieve it, wrestle with it, connect it to other things, the stronger the memory becomes. Neuroscientists call this desirable difficulty. The harder your brain has to work to remember something, the deeper it gets encoded. Top students don't fight this. They use it. Here's the 3-part system they live by. Pillar 1, active recall. Instead of rereading, they test themselves constantly. After reading a section, they close the book, no peeking, and they try to write down, from memory, everything they just learned. It feels uncomfortable. It feels like failure sometimes. And that discomfort is exactly the point. Every time you struggle to retrieve something, your brain strengthens that pathway. It's like doing a rep at the gym. 1 reread is 0 reps. 1 self-test, that's a workout. A simple way to do this, after every study session, flip your notes over, write a brain dump, then check what you missed. Those gaps, that's your real study list. Pillar 2, spaced repetition. Here's a counterintuitive truth. Studying something once for 4 hours is less effective than studying it 4 times for 1 hour spread across 4 days. Your brain has what's called a forgetting curve. Information starts fading almost immediately after you learn it. But every time you review it right before you forget it, boom, the memory research stronger and lasts longer. The top students don't cram, they schedule. They're not studying everything every day. They're reviewing the right thing at the right time. Apps like Enki do this automatically, but even just writing review dates on your calendar works. The key is, don't wait until everything feels forgotten. Review before you forget. Pillar 3, interleaving. This one surprises people. Instead of studying one subject for a long block, math for 2 hours, then history for 2 hours, top students mix it up within sessions. Math problem, history concept. Math problem, science question. Sounds chaotic, right? But research shows that when you switch between topics, your brain can't just coast on automatic. It has to figure out which approach applies every single time. And that extra mental effort, it makes the learning stick. Think of it like this. If you only ever practice free throws in basketball, you get good at free throws in a gym. But a real game isn't just free throws. Interleaving trains your brain for the real thing. These 3 pillars, active recall, spaced repetition, and interleaving, that's the system. That's what the top 1% actually does. And here's the thing, it takes less time than what most students are already doing. But knowing the system isn't enough. There's one more piece that makes or breaks it.
The missing piece. You can have the best study system in the world and completely sabotage it with one mistake: context switching.
Every time you pick up your phone in the middle of studying, even for 20 seconds, your brain needs up to 20 minutes to fully return to deep focus. You read that right. 20 minutes gone for a 20-second scroll. The top students aren't smarter, they're just better at protecting their focus. They use something called deep work blocks. 90 minutes, phone in another room, notifications off, one task only. And they don't fight distraction with willpower. They remove the choice entirely. Because willpower is a limited resource. Remove the temptation and you don't even need it. Here's a dead simple version you can start today. Set a timer for 45 minutes. No phone, no tabs, just one thing. When the timer goes off, take a 10-minute real break. Walk around, get water, breathe. Then go again. That one shift, just protecting 90 minutes of real, distraction-free studying, will outperform 3 hours of phone-interrupted studying every single time. I promise. And when you stack deep work blocks on top of the 3-pillar system, that's when things start to feel almost unfair. You finish your sessions faster, you retain more. You walk into exams actually confident. Not because you studied more, because you studied right.
Look, nobody taught us this stuff. School teaches you what to study. It almost never teaches you how. So if you've spent years studying the hard way, don't beat yourself up. You were just using the wrong tools. The good news? You can start using the right ones today. Not next semester, today. Here's your action plan. 3 steps, starting this week. 1. After your next study session, close everything and do a 5-minute brain dump of what you learned. Don't look at your notes until you're done. 2. Write 3 review dates in your calendar for every topic you study. Space them out. 1 day later, 3 days after that, 1 week after that. 3. Try one 45-minute deep work block tomorrow. Phone in another room, timer on, one subject, see how it feels. That's it. That's the system. Simple enough to start today. Powerful enough to change everything. If this hit different for you, drop a comment with one thing you're going to change about how you study. I read every single one. And if you want to go deeper on any of this, active recall techniques, how to build a full spaced repetition schedule, or how top students manage their time during exam season, subscribe and stick around, because that's exactly where we're headed next. See you next one.